It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
I'm Brandon Jones, host of the Teen Mental Health podcast, It Is Not Your Fault.
And I'm Lambert Fisher, family therapist and host of the Diversity Dude podcast.
We're not always going to be all right, and that's what makes us human. Often, when we're in pain or even thinking of suicide, we may not want others to know, but you'll feel better if you talk to someone. And you can do that safely and anonymously.
We can recognize when loved ones are not okay. They bottle up, they isolate, they're angry.
That's why we want you to know about 988, Minnesota Lifeline, for someone you're worried about or even yourself.
Anyone with an emotional or mental health related need can call, chat, or text 988 for free, confidential support. You can connect with 988 to discuss difficulty with money, relationships, anxiety, your job, concerns about drug or alcohol use, grief support, figuring out your identity, and more.
You don't even have to identify yourself or the person you're calling about, and no insurance is needed.
988 is available 24/7 year-round and can interpret in more than 200 languages.
So take a brave step. Call or text 988.
Or chat at 988lifeline.org. You don't have to do this alone.
It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Yvette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These jet-setting divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hey, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies, what's going on in the world of travel?
We don't know.
Well, I do know what's going on. Did you all see there was possibly a close to a collision with with
Atlanta.
Delta? Yeah, so hopefully things are more safe as
No,
far
this
as.
just happened
I
today.
saw that
Yeah, I
headline.
know it just happened
Listen,
today.
because it
Yeah,
like bumped off the tip of one and
The
the end of
tail or
the tail
something.
of it. Yeah, and
yeah.
all those people had to like get off the plane. Just imagine if you were going somewhere and you had to be there for for a certain period of time
Or
and you need to be on time.
a
I would be
connect.
mad.
Yeah, I'd be
Yep.
mad too.
Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah. So that's crazy in the news. I don't know how that strike went because I think that one of the hotels were on strike. I think we talked
They
about
were.
before.
Yeah, we
I don't know
didn't.
what
Which one?
Yeah,
all the hotels. I think the Hilton was it the
a
Hilton?
few weeks ago. Yeah,
If you
they were
yeah.
on.
I
Oh,
wonder what
Yeah.
happened. Now, did they get cheap rates? I don't know if we even got a hotel.
Hopefully we can get cheaper rates for our next trip.
Yeah, because I'm telling you. Oh, let's talk about our next trip.
Okay.
So, I just recently went out of the country
Okay.
on American Airlines.
Okay. What happened? You
Eh,
told us you had priorities.
Yes.
How did that
I don't
priority
know
work
about
out?
I
How'd
don't know
that
about
priority work out for you?
I don't know about priority, but I'm gonna give you okay, so the the gist of it is, when we looked at trips that we've gone to before, I don't know if we've ever flown American there because
No, we
I
did.
just
We
took a
flew
10
American to we went over to
To Hong Kong.
China. Yeah, to Hong Kong.
just to the China part.
Yeah, we did that China part from here
Uh,
to Hong
yeah.
Kong.
So
Yeah.
I just
12,
took the
16
overnight.
hours, whatever.
So the overnight flight from DFW to Brazil is 10
Okay.
hours.
Wow. Yeah, you tell yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you, we gonna have to get first class because they did not give me unlimited drinks on.
Well, Tina, that was what, maybe about how many, 4 years ago?
It was
Yes,
before COVID. It was
And we
2018.
done had COVID. We've had
yes,
COVID in the world since then. I think things have
it-
changed now.
they've changed a lot. They've changed a lot,
So
and I'm
Hmm.
here to.
you thought you were gonna have unlimited drinks like we did going to Hong Kong, and they stopped you on a one drink limit. Event
Uh-oh.
Tina's
Tina's
frozen, but
frozen.
evidently they did
Tina,
stop
you are
Tina on a
frozen.
they stopped Tina on a one drink limit. But okay, so Yvette, I guess they're not doing that anymore, where you have unlimited drinks like we did. So
You
I
gotta buy. I guess you're gonna have to, like, when you go to
maybe
buy
buy a
your ticket,
package, yeah.
when when you have to look at the different, like, they got two.
The different
They done
tiers.
changed so much with
They
these
have,
airlines
yeah.
right now. You don't know what they have, what's
But
going
but
on. It's changes.
I'll tell you one thing that I see with American. If you've got a flight already booked with them, and possibly what we need to look into doing as a travel hack is maybe calling them and telling them we have a travel podcast. We'll be doing different um, sponsorship for them. We'll be doing promotions for them, and maybe they'll give us that drink package because we definitely needed it.
Well,
Like we
Jeanette,
had.
you come up with all these great ideas. You just got to do it.
Okay, Yvette, I'm gonna call, but I'm telling you so that you can call too if I don't call.
No, we are
Yvette,
one.
no, nothing. If the J don't do it, the E or the T gotta do it. So we
I
gotta,
don't know. I don't know. The tea done disappeared.
yeah.
What
Okay,
happened to
so
her internet?
last week the
She was
Yvette,
about to
okay,
tell us some good stuff, but
she
oh well.
was gonna tell us about the travel internationally. So let's talk about traveling internationally, Yvette. When we've traveled internationally before the over long term
Long haul.
long haul trip
Yeah.
overseas before COVID, we would get unlimited drinks, but I guess evidently now Americans not it's not giving unlimited
Well,
drinks. We
they've changed all of that stuff
yeah.
now. We flew American 8 hours from here to Hawaii,
Yeah, we
and
did.
they didn't give us any drinks.
No, they
They
sure
gave us
didn't.
a
You right.
lunch box
You right there sure would. And that was kind of like that was like 2020, 2021. We went out there.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Everything has changed. So if we do any international trips in the upcoming future, what we'll have to do is look to see whether and then if it's an overnight, maybe we just need to take our
Oh, there she is. She finally decided to come back.
internet just went off. So I don't even know what
Okay,
happened.
so what were you about to tell us about this overnight haul? You didn't get your cocktail.
Yeah, and I know that Yvette was talking about, things have changed, but they did not. They literally, like, for 5 hours, they shut the lights off. They turned off the service, the
It's
whole
like, go to
service,
bed.
and they said go to bed because we left at 7:30 at night, and we got there at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. in the morning, and they literally cut off the lights.
They said go to
And
sleep. We're not wasting our liquor up
one
on y'all.
time, but only one time did they come by and even offer beverages. They gave you a dinner, and then they gave you breakfast. I was like, wait, what are unlimited drinks? I was floored. And that ain't even a half of it. The overhead bin, too small. It wouldn't even take a small carry-on. So we
What?
literally took up one bin at the top above, two pieces of luggage. It
That
wasn't big enough.
was this a small plane?
No, this was like a 7 rows. I
Oh,
mean,
But you
nine
know what?
people.
A lot of times those American flights are smaller and they do have small bins on the top. So maybe
well,
this
maybe
isn't
they
like
put
when
the
we went.
majority of the luggage in the belly.
Maybe
They
so.
I think they wanted people to check luggage because they kept saying, "Oh, if you can't find luggage, we're going to check it." And I was like, "This is
Hmm.
craziness." And my other part of it was, um, I just felt like, I was, with someone who had the Admiral Club, so that pretty much I'd gotten all my liquor there, and
You told us you were.
Good
Because
job.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did because
So
I
so
tell you,
you got it.
I would.
You got everything before you got on the plane.
Yes, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna tell you it if and then I also what is really good is did you know I don't know if we did this before duty free if you buy stuff in duty free
We've
they
done that.
package it up real good.
Mhm.
So I had a connecting flight on my way back and I got worried because I flew into JFK and then we had to
Mhm.
go back through security. But if your stuff is sealed, you could. So they'll let you bring a bottle of wine and liquor and everything like that through TSA, which I thought I didn't know that. I don't know if y'all knew that part.
And
So duty free,
was it because you was a connected flight?
yeah, and because duty free wraps it up and seals
Yeah.
it and put that and they put that stamp of approval there, I could take that back through TSA for my. They didn't care. I mean, long as it was unsealed, it was fine. So,
Yeah,
so
because you duty free is when you've already gone through the security and you buying something and you bringing it back on the plane. In your case, you had a stop, and it had good thing it had the seals on it, so you was able to just go on
go
through.
back through. Yeah, and that was a plus because I had bought like this signature liquor that they have in Brazil, and I just had to bring it back. So of course, I had to buy some. And then I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to check my bag? And they were like, oh no, but as long as it stays sealed and you haven't touched it or tampered with, they'll just TSA will just kind of validate that the seal is still there. So
Hmm.
so that was a plus for me.
So Tina,
Yeah.
my question is for you, as far as our listeners go, and even for us with traveling and upcoming trips that we may be going to overseas, flying on American Airlines. What are your two or three tips?
Yeah. I'd never go back to Brazil. That's number one. If you want to ask me a question again, I'm gonna tell you that for us who've flown to Mexico, it took 10 hours. I played 3 times as much, and I don't feel like it's a place that I mean, with the poverty level, it was like a third world country. And I can tell you that people can go on Facebook and Instagram and post all the cute pictures, but it was a lot of disparity there. It was a lot of
Um,
despair.
maybe it was the park. I'm sure they have some better areas, a
No,
better like the
I was in
Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, but I didn't go to
Mhm.
Rio de Janeiro, and they said it's probably the same. The Rio de Janeiro is really the beach, and where I was at the business district, Sao Paulo, there it's a business district, so it's really more dinner, food, shopping, those type of things. Nothing really, and food and shopping really, and
And you said you wouldn't go back.
I wouldn't go back
Okay.
because the disparity between the rich, because $1 of American money was worth like $5 of their money. I mean, so Ubers were like, I was paying like $3, $4
Oh
on an
wow,
Uber
that's
ride,
good. Yeah.
but the traffic was horrible.
Oh
Every place
wow.
took an hour to get there. I mean, it's
Mm.
less than 20 miles, and it was like an
Mhm.
hour, hour and a half.
Wow.
So it was, and then they got this lake in the middle, this disgusting black pond water, whatever, it runs throughout the
Goodness.
city. It's black. It's literally
Well,
black. It looks like tar.
Tina,
I'm
Tina,
telling
I'm
you.
sure they don't call it disgusting. I'm sure they
No,
call it.
no, I'm telling you, we have gone to places where you've seen homeless, like, when we went to Canada and Portland, nothing like this. I mean, you you literally were warned. Signed up for in the embassy. They kept warning about pickpocketers. They will steal your cell phone. Like people who were walking around that was looking, for directions to places, someone will come by in a bike or a motorbike and just grab their phone. They were stealing, so the theft is high
Mhm.
there and the
Mhm.
pickpocketing. I mean, literally, I was clenching my purse and my crossbody the entire time. And it make you really, really paranoid. So everywhere you're going, you need to look at directions. So
Mhm.
even the Uber driver was like, put your phone away, put your phone away. Like
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was one of those places that yeah, I could see, why some of the rich people are rich because it is a technology area,
Mhm.
but the poor are really poor. I mean, you seen mother
Mhm.
and children just sleeping on benches and everywhere. And
Mhm.
I didn't go to Rio de Janeiro, but in Sao Paulo,
Yeah, that's a
it,
large area, and it's
I mean,
very
12
Yeah.
million people live in
Wow.
this city. 12 million people.
Dang.
And I'm telling you, it was crazy. You saw the most expensive cars, and it's not like the ritzy, LA looking areas or whatever, but I was just, really searching for the beauty, and a lot of the beauty was, I went to a lot of the
Mhm.
graffiti artists and the cathedrals, and they have like a lot of different places, but I have to tell you, Mexico. I mean, I'm like
So I would say even when we went to Bali, it wasn't a country where it was really a lot of expensive things and really
yeah.
luxury, but we did feel safe.
Safe.
So,
Yeah, but I mean,
mhm.
Mhm.
and it was
Mhm.
just like it is just like Bali. So just imagine Bali with a whole bunch of cars and a whole bunch of motorcycles, mopeds flying,
And
and
a
they don't
lot of crime.
and a lot of crime. I mean, they were literally, on the highway, people were riding their bikes selling food between cars. Like I'm like stuck in it was the most craziest stuff that I'd ever seen. And at the football game, because I went there for
Okay, so that's what I was gonna ask
The
you about,
NFL game.
because that was a good game. You had two great quarterbacks. Yeah,
Yeah, it was an
you,
awesome game, but the
Eagles
security,
playing the Green Bay Packers. Yeah.
girl, but the security there, what y'all didn't see was they had police lined around the entire stadium,
Wow.
in the stadium, all around the entire football
Wow.
field. So I don't know what kind of football or soccer they do. I don't know if the fans just run out there, the police needed to be there. The police were everywhere.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, of course there were about 60,000 people there at that game, and most of the people were there from Brazil. I think
Wow.
about they said about maybe 30,000 people came from the US or from, other country to see the game, but most of the people were from Brazil. But the security was great there. But you could see, like, they were spending like $200 for tailgating parties to go into this little event, and they had the food just kind of going on all of these different um like barbecue pits or pits. The homeless people were just staring at the food, and I'm telling you, it was devastating to me. It was more like they were standing there waiting for either them to finish eating and throw it in the trash so they can get it. I was convinced they were getting ready to bum rush the
Maybe
barbecue
that's
pit.
why they had all the
Jeanette, this
man.
is not this
Were
is
y-
not
were you
funny.
were you scared they were gonna grab the food out your hand or something?
They would. I mean, they would ask and they speak Portuguese, so I don't know what they were saying, but
But
they
you
were.
knew they wanted whatever you had in your
I
hand that was
literally
food.
walking through the streets was, just eating some chips. They wanted the chips. Just give them the
Wow.
chips. I'm serious. They were hungry. And they don't, not like other countries where they tell them to go away. They it's like at the mall, at the tailgating, along the thing, they was just lined up around the thing, just waiting for food to drop.
Wow.
I literally was in a restaurant sitting down eating, and a homeless person came in and wanted my can. They wanted my can of soda. They wanted that can because they saw I had emptied it into the glass. They ran in there and grabbed my can. Can I have the can? And then they ran out. So this is how bad it really
I would be
is.
a little scared of that. Honestly,
Mm,
being an
yeah.
American, you'd be a little scared of that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was quite the
You you seem like
traumatic
you
the
it
traumatic
that's what
I didn't display that in any of my posts, but I was just I mean, even the street fair that I went to, they were like literally, you know how they cook the food, they throw stuff, they were digging in the trash while we were, waiting for our food to be cooked. So I'm telling you, it was very much um a crazy thing. But
opening.
what I
Yeah.
will tell you, the locals will pay for you to try their country food or drinks. They
Mm.
were like, "Here, I'm gonna buy you. You got to have some." It was like this, kind of like a vodka. It tastes like vodka with cactus or
Now
sugar.
I did see you had a few vodka tonics.
Well, that wasn't vodka tonics. Those were
Really?
caprahinha,
Oh,
something like
it
that.
looked like a
Capri
vodka
Cap,
tonic.
Capriana.
Capriana,
Capriana.
Okay.
Capriana.
Capriana.
Yeah, whatever that name of it. Yeah, that exactly. And that's their signature cocktail there, made with their signature. It's like a vodka. I mean,
Mm.
awesome. They squeeze all these lemons and limes in there. I actually brought some back, so I got some for y'all to try. That's what I brought through duty free, but
Okay.
um, but they pay literally this random man sitting at the counter at we were eating one of their signature sandwiches. He said, "You got to try it." And him and his wife just started buying me drinks. I was like, okay. And next thing you know, I'm buying those drinks, and they were only like, I mean, it's so cheap. Literally, I would eat dinner and it would be like $17, $18.
Mhm.
So it was pretty reasonable in that sense. So those things were
Mhm.
really, really good. But I think the whole economic disparity part just really made me feel uneasy thinking, you over here spending money and the hotel was really, really nice, but we only pay
It
like
looked like it was based on your pictures.
we want to pay like $380 for
Mm.
for 5 nights, four
Mhm.
nights. So it was really, really there were some pluses and some cons, but I would say as we prepare for our trip to Italy, I don't know what we can do to find out what the in-flight service is going to look like because I think we really need to see are we going to get what we expect for in-flight service
Or if we need to
or we
upgrade.
need to upgrade our tickets to like first
Okay.
class. So that's kind of
Mm.
what I was saying. Some of the things that I think we need to do. And I'm telling you, our global entry, that was just if you got got your global entry,
Mhm.
that is a
I
plus.
used to when I came back
Literally,
from St. Martin. It's nice.
because I think a
And
lot of people
you don't even need your car. You just basically come
you
in and
they,
they know
you
your
do your
face and
eye
eyes. Yeah.
because you did that iris check. But
Yeah.
what I have to I mean, people were looking at me like, how you
Who is
going?
she? How does she
How you
walk
go?
up there?
Because it was like maybe so many because people get TSA, but they don't get global entry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the part that you need when you come back in the US that you can just kind of bypass going through them having to revalidate your passport again. So that was a big plus. And and I'll just have to say, you know, that and just, having some type of status is definitely going to be a plus. Because I would say that for where I went, the time and the cost and the time didn't pan out. I figured I could have went to a flight to Mexico for 2.5 hours, spent less time getting there and less time, and I would feel safe, even knowing that there might be some cartels over there at the
The thing about it is we've been to Mexico so many times. It's like we know it. Yeah.
and Jeanette, I'm gonna be honest, I brought my stun gun and I didn't get caught.
Oh Lord.
So don't tell nobody. Shh. Well, if they listen, then good. That mean they had to come. They had to be listening for the first 15
Oh,
minutes to find out.
Yvette, we have somebody that's doing some illegal
No, but
stuff.
that was because it's a lipstick. It's actually a flashlight.
That's what
So
they thought. They thought it was
it's a
lipstick.
flashlight.
Yeah.
It looks like a flashlight. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, took out my phone. I had my flashlight because
Okay,
I
we
was
better
going.
not take that anywhere else.
I'm not gonna bring it no more. But I didn't listen to you on that and on that aspect. But I'll just say, when we think about our next flight, we probably need to look into that in detail.
Okay.
I don't know. But any thoughts, any questions for me? You know.
No.
Yeah, I think they didn't even have a galley with food stocked
Well,
with food.
really?
No, on American. So the galley, it had like a couple of
That's because you
like
were
the
probably going to
leftovers.
Brazil. Okay, so we go to Europe and they need to have a galley for
But we
us.
need to check those type of things.
Yes, we do need to check those
We need to
types of
check
things
that,
because
and that's why I was saying.
we need that galley for snacks and to walk around and to get
And if that's the
drinks.
case, we gotta upgrade. I mean, we're gonna have to work
Yeah.
hard. We're gonna have to hustle because we gotta go first class. Because I literally could not do that again. I'm serious. I was feeling so bougie. I was like, these little
I can't
overhead.
deal with this. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was like you were dealing with the international. That's what it sounds like, an international, because it sounds like a US flight, not an
uh,
international one on
I don't know if you ever
American.
seen Airplane where they put the first class people in the front and they had all these luxuries and then they threw everybody in the back and it was like pandemonium. That's how I felt. It
Oh.
wasn't like that because everybody was pretty cool and the food wasn't good. So they even the food that they gave you, they was like meat or no meat. Girl, none of that was really meat. I don't know what they thought that was. They gave us some lasagna. I was like, then they say pasta, and then they put a bunch of tomato sauce on top of it. So yeah, the food wasn't that good.
Mm.
So we definitely need to check out what the
Mm.
accommodations are for our in-flight service before we go to Italy.
So what we'll have to tell our listeners is that you must
I'm
check out
telling y'all.
everything We would tell us and our listeners we must check out everything when we're going international flights flying American.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. I think Alaska and Cathay Pacific got us spoiled or something.
Yvette, do you have anything
Thoughts,
you want to
yeah.
let our listeners
Yvette,
know?
tell us some local stuff, Yvette. What's been going on locally?
Yvette, I saw you
Um,
over in Fort Worth. Yeah, and you know
nothing.
that's like a trip for
I
me.
thought I was going to watch the debate.
That's coming up soon, and so
This
we've
one,
got to get off this call.
Right.
But Yvette, until then, I think that you were in Fort Worth and you did some of the
She's
stockyard
trying to
items.
make me say make it seem like I really went somewhere. I went down
Well,
the street.
well, for me, being on the northern corridor of the Metroplex, this would be a trip.
oh, so you guys didn't go to the women's conference or
We
women's?
did go to the women's conference,
Okay.
yeah, and we saw Cynthia Bailey, and she talked about a
Yeah.
lot of uplifting of women. She was, and
Hmm.
she's a beautiful woman, pretty,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and she talked about the issues that she's had, and just about living a cleaner, healthier, spiritual,
Yeah.
blessed life.
Okay. I say, oh yeah, because I'm like they all that plastic surgery. They all look alike to me. I'm gonna keep saying her, Tamar Braxton,
I don't think I really don't
Yolanda
think,
Adams,
yeah. I mean, maybe some Tamar maybe, but I don't.
Vivica.
But
They all look like the exact same person to me.
I think
Oh no, no,
Cynthia
they
Cynthia
don't.
Blakely, no, no, yeah,
Cynthia
she
Bailey, Tamar
no.
Tamar. I'm
Tamar
telling
maybe, but not
Ta-
Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey's
Tamar,
no.
Yolanda Adams, and Vivica Fox. They all look like they got the same surgeon.
A lot of them do though.
They got the same
No.
nose. Yeah, come on, look at it again.
And ladies,
She
we
looking at
got
the cheekbones.
she is. And ladies, we've got a Tina, do you want to tell our listeners about our big trip that we've got coming up next month? We've got a celebration coming up.
Next month.
Are we talking about that yet? I don't know if we're
Well,
supposed to.
maybe we're gonna be quiet about it right now. Have our listeners ready for the
Let's
next call.
let's
Okay.
wait.
Well, keep listening and you
Keep
will find
listening.
out the info.
Yes. All right,
Well,
ladies.
I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Mark your calendar for October 17th. That's Open House Day at Summit Academy OIC. And that's where your next career begins. In just 20 weeks, Summit Academy can prepare you to be a medical administrative assistant, IT specialist, carpenter, electrician, or financial services professional. These are good paying jobs in high demand in the Twin Cities. Summit Academy will not only prepare you for a job with advancement opportunities, they'll help you connect with employers and hiring managers. That's right, Summit Academy has a list of local employer partners ready and eager to hire Summit graduates. At the open house, you'll meet Summit instructors and staff. These incredible people will guide you through the entire process, from application to graduation. And if you're looking to earn your GED, Summit can help with that. Come to Summit Academy's open house, located at 935 Olson Memorial Highway in North Minneapolis. Find out more at saoic.org. And we'll see you October 17th from 3 to 5 p.m.
If you live in an older home, it may contain lead-based paint on walls, woodwork, and windows. Even more bad news, lead exposure can be dangerous to young children and impact their brain development. And now, the good news. Hennepin County will fix lead hazards in your home at no cost to you.
We were worried because of the paint in the windows in the bedroom. They were peeling and chipping, and we know that when paint peels and chips and it looks a certain way, that's possibly lead. We were worried for our children more so than anything.
Eligible homes can qualify for up to $15,000 in upgrades. You may even qualify for new energy-efficient windows. Don't worry, Hennepin County has a trusted list of pre-approved contractors. You won't even have to find companies with correct licenses or certifications.
I've just done a test and it's positive. So we know that this is lead-based paint, and then we know it's a hazard because it's creating dust every time this window moves and opens. And if you look in here, that's just full of lead paint chips.
You won't have to stay with your cousin while you're getting the lead out. Hennepin County even pays for you and your family to stay in a hotel while the work is underway. The last good news is how easy it is to apply. Just go to hennepin.us/lead control to get started.
I'm really happy with the program. We can go to bed knowing that our children are safe.
That's hennepin.us/lead control. Tell your friends about it.
I'm Brandon Jones, host of the Teen Mental Health Podcast, It Is Not Your Fault.
And I'm Lambert Fisher, family therapist and host of the Diversity Dude podcast.
We're not always going to be all right, and that's what makes us human. Often, when we're in pain or even thinking of suicide, we may not want others to know, but you'll feel better if you talk to someone, and you can do that safely and anonymously.
We can recognize when loved ones are not okay. They bottle up, they isolate, they're angry.
That's why we want you to know about 988 Minnesota Lifeline for someone you're worried about or even yourself.
Anyone with an emotional or mental health related need can call, chat, or text 988 for free, confidential support. You can connect with 988 to discuss difficulty with money, relationships, anxiety, your job, concerns about drug or alcohol use, grief support, figuring out your identity, and more.
You don't even have to identify yourself or the person you're calling about, and no insurance is needed.
988 is available 24/7 year-round and can interpret in more than 200 languages.
So take a brave step. Call or text 988.
Or chat at 988lifeline.org. You don't have to do this alone.
Are you the parent or guardian of an adult with autism? If your loved one has no restrictions through court order, then they are eligible to vote. And you can assist them in many ways. Some citizens with autism don't like unfamiliar places and activities. These voters might prefer to cast their ballot at an early voting center. Leading up to Election Day, these early voting centers are less busy and less likely to require waiting. Early voting centers are open all over Minnesota, and you can vote there right now. Or you can request an absentee ballot to vote by mail. That's right. Eligible voters can cast their ballots without ever leaving home. On Election Day, curbside voting is another option to make voting easy and comfortable. Election judges will bring a ballot directly to the vehicle with a person with a disability. Make a plan to support and assist your loved one with autism this election season, so they can participate and exercise their precious right to vote. You can find out more at mnvotes.gov. That's mnvotes.gov.